Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bougie Club's first Epic Everyday Live. I'm your host, Jay Penelope. For those of you all who are new to the Bougie Club, I want to explain to you exactly what it is. So, Bougie is an acronym because I decided that we should redefine the term bougie because a lot of times it has a negative connotation. So bougie stands for bold, outspoken, unapologetic, goodwill, inspiring, and epic. One of the reasons why I created the Bougie Club is because I wanted a space for people to be able to get together and share ideas and information for the sole purpose of inspiring each other, for self-improvement, for creating financial stability, and just improving the community at large. I went live Wednesday, I believe it was, because I was upset about an incident that happened at a pool party that I took my daughter to, and I don't know what the true definition of viral is, but for a lack of a better definition, I have to say the video went viral. And I've been blessed with a platform of like-minded individuals who share some of my views, and I want to share information with the community. So while I have the ear, I like to put spotlight on people who are out in the community. There are everyday people doing epic things to try to improve the quality of our communities at large. Our first guest is Miss Angela Hill. I had the pleasure of meeting this young lady at business networking breakfast where she was sharing information about her program, and the more I learned, the more my heart got involved, the more I wanted to help her and make sure that her organization is successful because she's doing great work. But I'm not going to take anything away from her story. I want her to be able to tell you all about it. So Angela, say hey to the Bougie Club.
Hey, Bougie Club.
Angela, I want you to tell everybody what is Polish.
Well, Polish is an acronym for people overlook, I'm still here. So I was overlooked by my own father. So I don't have that story of, being raped or molested, but I don't need that story because I was overlooked by my dad. And that is the most hurtful thing for a child to not have a parent that's still alive. So I developed Polish because it's a lot of kids out here that's overlooked. I don't have to be a foster girl. So I don't have to be a foster girl to know what a foster girl is going through, but I target that audience because if you all ever went to youth villages and if you ever volunteered at youth villages, you would see their living conditions, and it's similar to a jail cell.
So Angela, I want to put a pin right there for a minute.
Because I can keep going.
No, I want you to keep going, but I want you to explain to our viewers what youth villages is. And Angela is native to the Memphis community as well. And I've heard of youth villages, and I had an idea of what it was, but my perception of youth villages is nothing like what Angela has explained to me that these children experience. So kind of explain to them what youth villages is.
Well, youth villages, say you have a child that's out of control, that may have been molested, touched, and you just don't know what to do with them. You at the breaking point where I don't want to just take them to Florida to stay with auntie. I want them in the same city as me so I can go see them. Some people take their children to youth villages. Some people just don't know what to do with their child anymore. They take them to youth villages. They have behavioral problems. Every child I've came in contact with is on some type of medication. So it's like you got all these kids in this system and you want them to be entrepreneurs. No, because they eat there, they sleep there, they get disciplined there in this one facility. And we want them to leave at 18 and go be productive citizens. No.
So now you mentioned that they eat there and they sleep there and they get disciplined there. So where do they go to school?
They go to school at youth villages. It's a campus, on campus facility where they go to school. They don't leave. They cannot leave youth villages.
So, do they have outings? Like, are there field trips?
I'm pretty sure it is. But as far as I know, it takes us to volunteer in order for some of those children to get out of there. So I had to step up and be a mentor to some girls and take them out. But some of the girls, they don't want to leave. You know, they're so focused on, or have been so, I guess you can say they've been so trapped in this mindset of, man, this is where I'm gonna be, this is what it is, that they don't want to leave. So you get there, they rocking back and forth, they on all kind of medicine. They don't believe anything that you're saying. It's just heartbreaking to see. So I've developed programs for these girls because, like Jay said this morning, they done took trade out of these schools. So now you expect somebody that's been in youth villages for 3 to 4 years to go to college. They're not about to do that for 4 years. They don't have the mindset to want to go to school for 4 years. So that's where Polish comes in. We develop programs, workshops, events that they can attend, that they can get involved in, so that they can know that you can be painters, and we need plumbers. I mean, we still need these people. They sometimes make more than us. You know, these plumbers and these electricians.
Yeah,
that's just facts. So it's other things that these kids can do instead of going to college for 4 years.
Now, one thing that I like that you all did here recently was the prom. Mm-hmm. And when I first saw the the post and the pictures and stuff, I really had no concept of prom, because I thought you all were like getting them dresses and stuff to go to like their high school prom that was out in the community. So explain to everybody kind of what that event was about.
Oh my goodness, that event was so heartbreaking. So I was doing their hair, makeup, and I provided some of the prom dresses, not all of them, but we did some of the girls' hair. We had to count the bobby pins that we put in these girls' hair, because sometimes they use bobby pins to inflict themselves.
So were you able to take them out to like a ballroom or a banquet hall to give them a real like prom experience?
I wouldn't say they turned the cafeteria or a gymnasium into where they were. It was still on youth villages campus in Bartlett.
And you didn't do it by yourself, so how did the community help you do that event? Because we have another event that's coming up that we're going to talk about. So I want to give people an idea of how they can help, because one of the things I'm trying to get people to understand is you don't always have to contribute money to help organizations out. You can do what we call in-kind donations and give things, or you can give your time. So kind of explain how the community was able to pull together to help you.
Yeah, I received $0 for that event. Everything was donated, from the dresses. We had Mary Kay giving makeup, so I received zero money. It was volunteers, nobody was paid, everything was free. And I thank God for that, because when we do start talking about these things, like this platform I'm on now, people do hit me up in my inbox. They go to my website and they reach out to me. So nothing came from money. You know, everything came from volunteers. Everybody gave their old high school dresses. Everybody gave their daughters 8th grade prom dresses. You know, we had all sizes. So it was just a blessing to see the community. And some of my old dresses that I wore in high school and at different events, had those girls have them on. You know, it was just a blessing to see.
And I really enjoyed looking at the pictures. Mm-hmm. And we kind of put the cart before the horse a little bit, because you have a poem that was written that kind of inspired you to take this leap of faith and just walk out there and start getting it done and doing something. So if you don't mind, I know it's kind of emotional because it speaks to your personal situation. Would you mind sharing the poem with our viewers?
Absolutely. Well, Bougie Club, my dad is an actual pastor, and I cannot tell you the last time I talked to this man. I cannot, I want to say it was sometime maybe last year when my aunt passed. I don't know, but he's a pastor. I just recently became in a relationship, involved in a relationship with a guy. He reached out to my dad, you know, telling him, I'm courting your daughter, you know, trying to be cordial with him. he blocked me and him on Facebook. So I urge you all to understand that mental health is real, because he was involved in the Vietnam War and he got sprayed with that Agent Orange. So I cannot say too many negative things about my dad, because I know it's a disability and I know it's a disorder, but it still hurts me and it still affects me. And I cannot deny that it caused chaos in my life. It caused chaos in some of my relationships, because I didn't know how a man was supposed to treat a woman. I just saw this man mistreating my mama, cheating on my mom, you know, abusing or whatever. I'm like, this can't be true. So
I kind of talked about that a couple of different times, that, you know, the kids are watching. Absolutely. And a lot of times the kids' perception of what's actually going on is sometimes different than the adult reality, but children are looking at situations from a child's perspective, and sometimes the things that they see, they can't process, they don't understand. And
these kids process more than what we know. They know a lot. They hear a lot. They hang around Big Mama, they hang around Grandmama, and they're understanding what's going on in the home. So they're not oblivious to what's going on. You are, the parent is. They know what's going on in that house. But go ahead. Okay. Don't get me started, because you know we can talk all day. We talk for 2 hours just to
I know, right? So share the poem with everyone.
My poem is titled Walking in Purpose. Dear DAD, acronym for Depression After Delivery. Why didn't you sign my birth certificate? Y'all, I wanted him to want me. I simply wanted to be daddy's little girl. I wanted that chance. I wanted my biological father to accept Angela. The truth is, when you are left by your parent, you wonder why time and time again. You wonder what's wrong with me. You become afraid, because if someone is meant to love you unconditionally won't, who really could? Instant thoughts like, who else will leave, and why would anybody ever love me settles into your heart. Y'all understand, using the word dad brings up painful memories. Memories of lonely nights and years spent questioning why I wasn't enough. Robert, how on earth could you abandon me? You missed all of my graduations. You missed over 20 birthdays. You never came to a track meet, never stepped foot on my college campus. See, I needed you. Even if you wasn't there all the time, sometimes would have been better than not at all. Robert, don't think that you're more than enough replacements made up for you never being there. Yes, they did the best that they could, but I still needed you. I needed to know you so I could understand me. I needed you to help me to know myself before anyone else could label Angela. I'm supposed to be daddy's precious angel. I needed you and you didn't even care. Tried reaching out to you, you even blocked me. How does one sleep at night not knowing if their own flesh and blood is breathing, eating, sleeping, and secure? Oh my goodness.
We said we weren't going to cry.
I'm unsure if your lack of presence was a blessing or a curse. Y'all, my pain runs deep. And as much as I tried to deny it, your absence brought temporary dysfunction and chaos into my life. How does it feel to be the first man to break my heart? Y'all see, Ephesians 6:1-3 states, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, for this is the first commandment with promise, that you may, I can't even see, I'm sorry, y'all. That it may be well with you and you may live long on the earth. Colossians 3:20 reads, children, obey your parents in everything, for this is pleasing to the Lord. But God, I want to do your will. I want to live long, but I'm struggling not to hate him. I'm reading your word, God, and you said in Titus 3:10-11, as for a person who stirs up division after warning him once and then twice, have nothing more to do with him. God, a man isn't supposed to divide his family. A man isn't supposed to abandon his own flesh and blood. God, what would he have lost by being in my life? I wasn't a troubled child. I ate my fruits and veggies. Y'all, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's okay. People need to hear this. Our men need to hear this.
Absolutely.
Our moms need to hear this.
Your non-existence is an insult to who you could have been to me. I'm sorry that you missed out on someone so great, but I guarantee that I won't let your actions break me. I never have before, and I certainly will not now. I thank you, Robert. I thank you for the pain of needing someone who was never there, because without that pain, I wouldn't know healing. I wouldn't know true love, and I wouldn't know how to walk in my purpose. Today, God is replacing my faith. My dad is the reason why I am a polished woman. People overlook. I'm still here. Okay? Girl.
Okay, I gotta get myself together before I can start asking you any more questions.
Girl, it's real. I mean, it's so many girls who have lost their dads and they're still alive. That's the tragic way of, you're still here, you're not even buried yet. And we have no contact. I had to struggle with God. I said, God, I would rather him die because I would know where he is, rather than him be walking around here preaching the word. You talking to all these people, all these hundreds of people every Sunday, but you can't talk to me? Come out that pulpit. You know, it's like, and God told me I didn't call him to do that. He called himself. That's how I'm dealing with it. Everybody ain't called. God got to choose you. He didn't choose him for that. Everybody is called, but few are chosen. You may be called to do something, but it may not be your time. He didn't choose my daddy to do that yet. So I'm telling you, I can't blame him too much, because I know it's mental health too. But if you take your medicine, you know, if he took his medicine, he would be in his right mind. But he chose not to do that. It's your decision not to take your medicine. It's your decision not to get help.
And I think this is an important conversation. And for those of you all, and y'all bougie people that are in the mental health field, I need y'all to hit me up so we can figure out how we can have a roundtable discussion about that. Because as I said earlier, you know, mental health issues
absolutely
are serious in our community, because we are dealing with a lot of scars. We are dealing with a lot of struggles. And we need help processing them, and we're not processing the hurt and the pain in the appropriate way sometimes. I'm so grateful that you're channeling your hurt into help, and into helping someone else so that they don't have to feel the same pain that you do. Because these young ladies that are in there, they not only don't have their fathers, they don't have their mothers either. So right. You know, when I talk about loving on these babies, they don't have anybody loving on them. And then, you know, due to the fact of the type of environment that they're in, physical touch from the staff members would be inappropriate. And I understand that, and rightfully so. But we have to realize that as humans, we need human contact. You know, we need that physical connection with people. We need that spiritual connection with people. So that's why it's so important, and it's why I want to do Epic every day, so we can shed lights on the realities of our communities. Because, you know, we don't know. We just don't know what we don't know. My mother did foster care for over 10 years, and she even adopted children. And so my point of reference for foster care was totally different than this particular type of foster care. I assume that when children went into foster care, they got removed from their home because somebody came in and decided that their home wasn't a safe place for them. And they went to send them to live with another family that was willing to step up, you know, and be a village and take care of that child until the parents or the family unit was able to get themselves in a position where they could properly care for the children. And I really thought that's how it works, because I have a neighbor that stays 2 doors down, and, you know, he's a single dad. He's raising his son, and he takes in teenage boys, you know, and tries to be that father figure to them. So I really thought that's how foster system works.
It works like that, but they're living conditions.
But I didn't realize that we still had you know, a present day Oliver Twist situation going on where, I mean, and I don't want to inaccurately depict it, but to me, the description sounds like an orphanage.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understand that everybody can't be all things to all people, but if we know we have these kids in this facility, and for whatever reason they have to be there, and there's an opportunity for us as a community to step up and say, hey, I want to volunteer to come in and mentor these young ladies and just be present. I want people to know that this opportunity exists because people are asking, you know, how do we help? And this is a way that we can help. So you have an event coming up.
Motivating Millennials.
That's coming up. Tell everybody about that particular event, because I think that is so awesome, because it deals with some truths in the community. It deals with some truths that we struggle with in the faith community, with the realities of things that are going on in society and what children are dealing with, because they aren't sheltered anymore. There's so much that I know I didn't see as a child because it wasn't on TV. Because when grown folks were talking, we had to go to a different room. Even if it was a party going on in the house, the kids had to stay in the bedroom, or you had to stay in the basement, and you didn't get to come out. You didn't get to come out and see what was going on. Now again, we speculated, we peeked, but it was a level there where there was a separation between adult behavior and what children did, and in many cases that doesn't exist anymore. So tell everybody what this workshop, Motivating Millennials, is kind of what the purpose of it is.
Well, the purpose behind it is, I don't have any kids, but I don't have to be a foster girl to know what they're going through. I don't have to have any children to see what my community is going through. I watch the news. So I was talking to one of my homegirls. I'm not going to say no names, so catch me if I...
Yeah. No, we're not going to say any names.
So, and this is the premise of why I started this event, Motivating Millennials. So her daughter went to the ER because something was going on. She couldn't tell her mama exactly what, so her mama said, you know what, get up. It was like 11 p.m. at night. Get up. We about to go to the doctor because you keep waking me up. You saying you having dreams, you itching, you sweating. Let's go. So they get to the ER. The doctor said, you know, what's going on? What's your symptoms? She like, the daughter's like, I don't know what's going on. So the doctor starts to do all kind of tests. Now, mind you, it's the ER. So any test you do, you get paid. You got to pay for it. So the bill just calculated. So when the doctor get done with all the tests, that's when the daughter say, Mama, I smoke some weed. Now, if you would have just been honest from the jump, you wouldn't have to do all these tests. You would have told your mama, I smoke some weed. Go lay back down, baby. You just high. You know. But they're not being honest with the parents. So now she got to come out of all these $100 because the daughter wasn't honest, didn't feel comfortable talking to her. But anyway, so she got a hold to some bad weed, or it was laced with something that caused her to go to the ER. They was there until like 4 a.m. The mama had to work the next day. The daughter still had to go to school. So when the mom calls me, I'm like, what? She was in the hospital for smoking weed. Wait a minute, what? She said, yes. I said, well, what we gonna do is we gonna go through her phone. So y'all don't do phone checks no more. All this could have been prevented.
Well, you know, because back in the day we had house phones and mama answered the phone and she could screen call.
Y'all had pages though, y'all.
Yeah, we did have pages. I remember putting in the number and putting in the note, and you had to turn it upside down and get the code. So we did our fair share of dirt, you know, and cause Lord, ooh man, I'm scared for doing this because I told y'all I was gonna get naked with y'all. My mama find out. I hope she don't start watching me because she gonna find out about some of the stuff I was doing.
Let her find out. let her reveal.
My mama is short. She's 4'11", but I'm still scared of her, and she still got a mean right hook. I don't need my mama finding out, but I understand that I do have to speak about it because She didn't know.
Yeah.
She didn't know, but these children like are on a whole nother level because they do have technology. And we don't know.
These
I
apps,
mean,
yes.
You know, we were delayed in starting today because my son had to hook us up on a tripod and put a light up and then tell us what we had to do. And I'm thinking, you just push the button on the phone, and apparently it's more complicated than that. So you bear with me. My young people, Miss J needs some help. So if y'all need to get some experience being a cameraman or something, I don't have any money to pay you. But I do have a legitimate corporation that can offer you a free, unpaid internship, and I can write an eloquent referral to your college admissions or your future employer, and you can feel free to use the clips you record as part of your portfolio. Because I promise you, Miss J, and this technology, you know, I'm learning.
But that's a lot of parents. So that's why I had to go through her phone, because the mama didn't know how to operate it. So I say we're going through her phone today. Okay, she done been in the hospital. All she could have told you or called me and say, Auntie, I done smoked some weed. I'm feeling some type of way, but she didn't want to do this. So now her mama got to spend $800 to $1,000 because they went to an ER visit, got all these tests ran, got IVs in the arm. But she could have just said, I smoke weed. We all know you high. You don't know, but we know. But anyway, we go through her phone. Well, no, I'm moving too fast. Let me slow down. So I get to the mom's place of business. And prior to me pulling up, I said, do you have the phone? And she was like, yeah, I'm about to get it now.
No, don't say names.
I'm not. So I get into the place of business, and the mom walks up to the door and says, okay, Angie is here because we're about to go through your phone. You supposed to already have the phone. Why are you telling your daughter we about to go? No. It should have been unlocked and ready when I pulled up. But okay. So y'all, this girl has her phone and she runs to the bathroom. I gotta pee. Now the mama at work, so she can't get ignorant. I'm there. I can't get ignorant because I don't want her to lose her job. So she running to the bathroom. Yeah, she's in the bathroom for at least 20 minutes deleting stuff. One of the mom's clients had to use the bathroom, so that was the only way the child came out, was because the client had to use the bathroom. So I say, let me stop. Okay. I said, give me the phone. I'm gonna say the name. Give me the phone and give me the passcode. So y'all, I get this phone. TT, no, please don't. Please don't go through my phone. She's shaking, crying, about to fall out. Eyelashes and came out, contacts and came out. Freaking out. So I'm gonna speed it up. I take the phone to my house and I started going through it. I'm trembling, shaking, because the girl that I know, she looked innocent. Like you wouldn't have never thought.
Not my baby.
She was doing this. Like literally, I was mind blown. She might as well went on the V Live twerking contest the way she was dancing in this phone. Her dudes, various different dudes grabbing her butt. She's taking pictures of it on Snapchat. She was the one who said, can you match me today? The day she went to the ER, and the text message, she was the one who implied that she had the weed. Are you gonna match me after the
So now we got an older crowd, and you know you fall in with that millennial. So explain to the people what match me means, because maybe they're going through the phones and they're seeing some of these things and they don't know what it means. Because I know there's a lingo, and just when I think I got it, they changed it up.
Well, match ain't that old.
Well, I know, but you just never know.
Well, you're right.
People are disconnected, so that's why I want to bring people on here so we can have these conversations. Because I can't say parents get your kids and they don't even know what they're supposed to be getting.
Right.
Because you know we use an LOL, but they got a whole new.
Absolutely.
A whole new set of little number and letter combinations that they're using.
You're right. Well, match, say the Miranda, say she had a gram, my bad. Say she had a gram of weed and her friend had a gram. Then they match it. So that's what she had. She had a gram and the friend had a gram and they matched it together.
So it could have just been combining the two different things. Who knows?
As long as you had whatever she had, you could smoke.
I know I had an experience with the phone thing, and me and my baby got into a knockdown, drag out, and I knew it was something wrong because when I said, let me see the phone, she wanted to keep the phone from me. But see, I told you I'm a work in progress, and I don't always practice restraint when it comes to dealing with my children because, you know, I came up in a different era. My mama was real different.
Mine was too.
My mama, whatever was in close proximity to her, that's what it was. If it was this little decorative piece, you better watch out because you might get it. So, you know, we had to really get into a fight for me to get the phone. Like we had to fight it. And I knew what it was based on her reaction, but I wish she would have responded different so we could have just had a conversation.
Yeah.
But the fact that she tried to buck up at me and keep me from having something that we was paying the bill on, I got real different because I went someplace else and I forgot that she was my child for a minute.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
And then the other kids looking like,
same thing. That's what happened.
And the older kids like, did nobody tell her she was crazy? You know, and it was, it was my baby sending shots to, you know, some little boy. You know, she in the mirror, she in the bathroom. I'm thinking she in the bathroom. They taking baths and getting ready for school, and she doing photo shoots.
Oh yeah.
You know, and some stuff that, you know, after they get to a certain age, you quit going to the bathroom. So I seen more of her than I ever wanted to see, you know, and that's a whole different story because they don't realize that when they're doing that, that's considered child pornography.
Right.
And that they can actually go to jail for that. They can actually get a record for that. They can actually be labeled as sexual predators and things like that. And there was a case where that happened to a group of kids in Florida at school that was sharing somebody's picture. But the phone checks, that's something simple, parents, that we can start doing just on a routine. Now, as the example goes, you can't let them know you coming for it. You know, it has to be random. Like the job give us random drug tests. We might need to start doing random phone checks. Now, I know my kids don't pay their own phone bill, so if I'm paying the bill, I need access. You can't have a passcode on your phone that I don't know about. But another thing, parents, they have these little secret apps.
Absolutely. An app that look like a high heel shoe and be butt naked pictures in it. I mean, it's all kind of stuff on the Android and iPhone app that you can download and disguise. But I ain't done. So we would go through her phone. She twerking, got boys, filling on or whatever. So her mom comes to my house and I'm showing her, what's in the phone. She about to cry. She's shaking. She's like, Ange, I can't believe this my daughter. I'm like, I can't believe it either, because if y'all see the girl, beautiful girl, so sweet. She always smiling, interactive. Phone ignorant. Phone was ignorant, okay? And this is not even everything that she deleted. So I can only imagine the stuff that wasn't even in there. So her mom's phone ring, and it's her boyfriend. You better get your ugly A home right now, B. I know it ain't taking you that MFing long to get that MFing phone from Angie. So she put the phone down, and the volume was up so loud, I heard him, but she didn't say nothing. So we still going through the phone, but I'm looking at her like, girl, what you going through? He called back maybe 3 minutes later. I know you better be on your way home, you ugly B. So, okay, I get it. So it's chaos in the house, and we wonder why the kids hanging around chaos. That's what they used to. This is what they're used to being around. The boyfriend being disrespectful. So this is what she does. I gotta go. I gotta get back home. So at the end of the day, she got her phone back. She was with her man. So the whole process was pointless. Basically, is what I'm saying. We done took her phone. We see what she doing, but at the end of the night, she got her phone back, and the mama in the bed with a dude who said, "I don't care what y'all doing. I don't care what she going. Whatever she doing, that's between y'all. And this is what I did. I actually called the guy who supplies her with the weed.
That's bold.
I did that because I'm like,
that's real bougie.
Yes, I did. I called him. He was very polite. He said, I tell her all the time she too pretty to be smoking. I call her big bro, so yes, ma'am, I'm about to stop doing that. You right. I mean, very polite. When I told the mom that I called him, she was like, oh my God, retaliation. I mean, that's something to think about, but that shouldn't be your whole premise of why you mad, why you coming to my house to get the phone, because you feel like the guy that supplied your daughter with this lace weed is going to retaliate and beat her up or try to kill her or do something to her. But that's the mindset of Memphis. We too scared to do stuff. We too scared to speak out. But this is what's going on. But the whole time her boyfriend was like, I'm not protecting you or her if somebody retaliate. That's on y'all since y'all want to go through her phone. And I'm saying boyfriend. This ain't a man that she married to treating her like this, but this is what the daughter is seeing. So this is why guys are grabbing on her. This is why she hanging out with these thugs, because look how the boyfriend talking to the mama. And I can only imagine what he's saying in the household.
It's deep. It's deep. These kids are dealing with real life issues.
They living in chaos.
We're dealing with real life issues, and as a community, we have to start having these conversations, because we talk about the system, we talk about our history as a people in this country and what impact that it had, you know, from a spiritual standpoint. We talk about generational curses, and the reality of it is, I mean, we don't talk about stuff so nobody ever knows what's going on. I mean,
we ain't supposed to talk about nothing. They don't want us to talk.
Well, we got to talk about it.
No,
we got to talk about it so we can start healing. We got to talk about it so mama can start loving on herself and realizing that she's enough.
Right.
I mean, people come to my house and they think I'm crazy because I have enough written on my mirrors, but I've been in those type of relationships that mom's in where, you know, it wasn't healthy and I wasn't been treating right. But, you know, sometimes people tell you, girl, hang in there, it could always be worse. But when you've experienced worse, and right, this particular situation is better than your worst, it doesn't look so bad. And if you don't have a point of reference for what different or what healthy looks like,
right,
then it's your normal. And so you don't even know that anything is wrong with it. And so we gotta start having conversations with each other. We gotta be able to lean on each other. We have to know what programs are out in the community for help. I have another organization, a Red Hat organization. I connected with that lady this week that I'm gonna have on Epic Every Day, who has a nonprofit that deals with women in domestic violence situations. And we'll have a panel discussion on domestic violence, because sometimes people think because it's not physical abuse that there's no abuse occurring, but sometimes emotional abuse and verbal abuse is even worse than the physical, and those scars cut much deeper.
Those don't go away. The bruises could disappear, but the verbal and the physical, those not gonna. The physical will leave, but the verbal gonna stay. It'll stay in your mind. It'll have you playing. It'll have your mind playing tricks on you, because I know, like you were saying, they want us to speak out. Like my mom and her sisters, they got bold and went to my grandmother to told my grandma that they were being touched and some were being molested by the man she's currently, you know, married to. Ask us when the last time we talked to grandma, because she finally got the truth and she don't want nothing else to do with us, the whole family, because of this man. She's so in love and don't want to separate from him. That's control. That's a control. That's a type of control. You don't have to say you stay in the house. It's different ways to control too. It's different levels to control it.
It is. It's some serious and it's some deep issues that's going on, and as humans, we have to understand that sometimes the reactions that we get from people, the things that we see people do, sometimes it's coming from a different place, and it's coming from a place of pain and a place of hurt that some of us can't even fathom or imagine that people have to go through in real life, because it sounds like something in a book or off a movie. Like, people really are dealing with this type of stuff in real life. Like, people actually treat each other like this in real life, and these are real stories that are happening every day in our communities. And it's water, baby. It's water, y'all. It's colorless. It's water. It's happening to everybody. Like I said in the other video, water is that one thing that all of us require to survive. And we're comprised of water. The majority of our bodies is comprised of water. And water is colorless. You know, that's the common ground that we have. We need water. We all made up of water. And water is colorless. Water is what makes us live. And so we have to understand that the issues are human issues, and we have to start connecting with each other on a human level so that we can start walking in each other's shoes and apply some empathy when we deal with each other. I know that was one thing that teaching taught me. When I would see kids acting out in the classroom and my behavior problems, I learned over time that at first the kids was getting on my nerves, and I didn't want them in the classroom. Like, ooh, Lord, ooh, I hope so-and-so mama don't send him to school today. But then I realized for some of those children, I just happened to be the place where they can have an outlet. You know, I was the sounding board. I was the punching bag, because they couldn't release any of that stuff at home. And so a lot of times their behavior was a manifestation of things that were going on at home. So tell everybody how the Motivating Millennials workshop is going to try to address some of these things that people are dealing with.
Well, I have Confidential Care Mobile Ministry. They'll be there. I don't know if you all know about Confidential Care, but they'll actually come to your house if you're pregnant, or if you think you're pregnant, do ultrasounds, pregnancy tests for free. And they're also a nonprofit. I teamed up with Operation Hope. They're going to do a segment on the outcome of not having an income at an early age. And that's going to be with Miss Judy Hayes. My keynote speaker is going to be Romel Witherspoon, phenomenal millennial. He is in New York. You can see him in Madam Secretary, Blue Bloods. Phenomenal testimony as to why he even got to New York. The host will be Ty Thomas. She is Miss Black Tennessee 2016. I have author Joanne Salisbury. She's going to be talking about living with HIV.
Wow.
So it's a lot of things that's going to be going on. I'm going to have a panel discussion with STS Enterprise. The founder of that is Jeremy Calhoun. Operation Taking Back 901 with Ari, and Speak Life with JJ. So it's going to be an array of people. Panera Bread is going to feed the children, or the millennials, I shouldn't say children, but the millennials that show up, because millennials can be 30-year-olds, you know, young men and women.
So we're saying millennials, and sometimes people don't have a concept of what that means in numbers. So when you're saying millennials for this event, what age group are you talking about?
12 to 30. That's what I want to target, because I got something for all of you from 12 years old to 30.
So Memphis, 12 years old to 30. Now, is this just for ladies, or
no? It's for both. I also have Nike. They'll be giving out warm-up suits to the guys. I have 21 warm-up suits that'll be given out to people that register, and I have Sephora. And they'll be giving out makeup, you know, bags and the cosmetic boxes. So it's a lot that's going to be going on. But forget the gifts. I want them to get something out of these speakers and out of Confidential Care. And because Confidential Care, your baby may be sitting in her room right now, pregnant, contemplating abortion. You know, they're pro-life. They'll come to your house and minister to your daughter as to how she can raise this child at 15. You know, these kids are contemplating these things, and they can't talk to you. they don't feel comfortable coming to their mom because they think she gonna kill me.
I've shared with everybody. I got pregnant at 16, and I knew my mama was gonna kill me. I think I was probably already 3 months before I told her, and I was scared. I literally thought she was gonna kill me. Like, I had to find people to get together who were gonna come with me to tell her, because I knew that it was gonna be over. Now, of course, you see, she didn't kill me. There wasn't a physical reaction, but there was an emotional reaction that was detrimental for me. You know, my mama didn't speak to me for a long time.
Wow.
Once she found out I was pregnant, you know, and I did contemplate having an abortion, and I thought about it, and I was trying to make it happen, and she said, no, you made your bed, you gonna lie in it. You know, this your baby, you gonna raise it. And I thank her for that. But it was hard living in a house with her, and she wouldn't speak to me because she was so hurt and she was upset. And as a parent now, I can understand it. But in that particular moment, as a 16-year-old, I felt so alone. Like, it wasn't anything that I wanted. I would cry. I wasn't one of them mamas that was rubbing on my baby, telling my baby how much I loved him. We was having conversations about how my life was going to be so much different, and I wish this wasn't the decision that I had made. But we also didn't have open and honest conversations. I couldn't talk to my mom about sex. She always said, when you ready, come talk to me. But when I came to her and said, Mom, I'm ready to have sex, she said, I ain't giving you the license to fill in the blank. And that was that on that. And so I went to her, and I asked, and she shut me down, but I wanted to try it still. Yeah. And so I did, and I thought we were having protected sex. I didn't know nothing about having no sex. He said he had on a condom, so I believed he had on a condom. Okay, we're going to do this thing. We protecting him, and all of a sudden, where's my cycle?
And there's so many girls out there.
There it was. I didn't know. I didn't know you were supposed to check, that you had to discount, double check. I didn't know that, that you could be in that type of intimacy with someone and they could not be honest with you. And I think that's what the lady will share, who's going to talk about her experience and how she contracted HIV, how she was in a relationship with someone, and she was in love and they was together, and he wasn't being honest with her about some things that he was doing, and whoop, there it is.
Right. And unprotected sex, protected sex too can lead to diseases. You don't just get herpes because you having sex wrong. You can get herpes with a condom on. It's so many ways that things can be transmitted through kissing. Like we was talking yesterday about those bumps on the lip.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful if a girl got BV and you smelling it and you ain't even put it in yet. She got BV. She nasty. She ain't clean down there yet. So I shouldn't say nasty. That one. But
she hasn't been educated on personal hygiene.
She's not clean.
And personal hygiene is a big issue because we don't talk about those type of things. So, young ladies and grown women don't know how to do proper self-care.
Right.
When it comes to taking care of their bodies. So, my bougie family that's in the medical profession, that's another conversation that we have to be able to educate people on, personal hygiene and self-care, because a lot of people don't know what they don't know because we're not having those other type of conversations. But the repercussions and the outcomes of not being educated on some of these things are negatively impacting our communities. They're negatively impacting people emotionally, physically. We talk about health care. We talk about, running up a bill. There's a lot of Americans that don't have insurance. And so when you talk about not knowing how to take care of your body and things that we could avoid if we were just educated on how to, just something as simple as properly cleaning ourselves.
Right.
You know, it could make a world of difference in someone's financial situation, because a lot of people have financial setbacks because of medical expenses. When we talk about medical expenses, we think about catastrophic medical expenses, a car accident, somebody has a heart problem, all of a sudden we think about diabetes, you know, we think about cancer and stuff like that, but we don't think about the more, you know, the smaller things that can have great impact to a budget when you go to the emergency room for something that could have been preventable if you knew about appropriate, you know, self-care, and you could have avoided yourself, you know, $1,200 medical bill at the ER because you don't have a primary care physician to go to, and then that's on your credit report. And then now when you're, you know, you're getting yourself together financially and you're trying to move forward, you know, so, and I know people look like shit all over the place, but we have to start seeing the cycles and the domino effects of how one thing impacts the other. I love Dr. Hunter at Whitehaven High School, because every morning he gets on the mic and he says, you know, every decision you make has a consequence.
Absolutely.
And you get to determine whether that consequence is positive or negative based on the decision that you make. And that's something that I took from my experience working at that school, and I started telling it to my children every day. And I have to remind myself sometimes when I'm in a situation and I'm tempted to make poor decisions, and I still make poor decisions from time to time. And when the stuff comes back to bite me, I have to realize it was a decision that I made, and this is the consequences. But the thing is, now that I had these consequences, how am I flex? How am I going to deal with it? How do I fix it? How do I cope with it? And that's what we need at this point. How do we cope with it? Who's out in the community giving us options on how to flex and how to cope?
It's a lot of resources, and that's why I have Operation Hope coming, because it's so many African Americans, there's some Caucasians too, that still don't even have bank accounts. You work all these hours, all this overtime, and you just giving it to these check in advance places because you don't want to get want to put in $25 and start a bank account, but you're gonna pay, but 3% or something to cash a check every 2 weeks. It's like we gotta get out of this mindset of just throwing out money. That's money that can be in your child's mouth and your child's tuition. Sometimes to cash a check is $75, $80. You just never know the percentage some of these places are taking. So that's why I say it's from 12, because the 12-year-old needs to hear that, and the 30-year-old needs to understand you just throwing away money every 2 weeks when you could have just opened up a bank account and put your money direct deposit into an account.
And so the other thing that I like about Hope, because, you know, I've talked with them too and shared information on the Bougie Club page about a workshop they had back in April on budgeting and debt. They actually work with individuals one-on-one and sit down with you with your credit report, and it's free, and they operate out of First Tennessee Bank and SunTrust, and they actually sit down with you. They don't charge you any money. They go over your credit report with you. They tell you what the stuff means. They look at how much money you make. They go over your check stuff, and they actually help you develop a financial plan to get out of the financial situation that you may be in, or show you how you can reach the financial goals that you have. And they do this free of charge, but I don't know how many people even know that they exist. So that's another reason why I wanted this Epic Everyday platform, to let people know what is available in our community, because we do have so many nonprofits that are out here working, but you know, that's not what's on the news segments. On a routine basis, giving people hope and telling them what's available in their community. So I want you all to understand, I know you all seen my live videos, and you know, I'm fussing and cussing, and y'all pray for me, because I'm working on my mouth and you know, trying to clean it up. But I just I really want this platform to be for people to share information and ideas that are going to help us move towards self-improvement, giving each other hope. working together collaboratively as a family and friends, as one America, because we share so many of the same issues. I want us to get to a point where we can start speaking colorless. And don't get me wrong, I'm not naive. I know that there are racial issues in our community. And I'm not going to pretend that I can fix that, but there's some things that we can come together on that's colorless. And maybe if we start having those colorless conversations, we can have some more empathy, and then we can start maybe learning more about each other, and we can approach
have
those
sympathy
more,
for others.
and approach those more difficult conversations. And I'm not pretending that I can fix the world, but I'm just trying to do my small part, which is sharing information with people. I'm trying to get to my inbox, you guys. I have like over 100 inbox messages. I had no idea that this was going to be that way, so I'm working out processes and I'm trying to figure it out, so I'm getting back to you all. But we got to start sharing information and letting people know. So how can individuals attend your event? And this is open to everybody, right? Doesn't matter what color they are, it doesn't matter. And that's another thing. A lot of times people see us throwing events and they think it's just for us, but sometimes you just gotta go show up to see what's going on. This information is good for everybody, because you know
it is.
These issues hit everybody. It hits our Hispanic family, it hits our Asian families, it hits our Caucasian family, it hits America. It's American family problems. And so how do they attend the event?
Well, I partner with Eventbrite, so you can go on eventbrite.com and type in Motivating Memphis Millennials, because I'm going to do a segment in somewhere else, but it's Motivating Memphis Millennials. Or you can go on my Facebook, facebook.com/Polish Me Now. That's POLISHMENOW. And then you can also go to the website www.polishplease.com, and you can register there. So it's ways to.
Okay, so you guys, we'll get that together and we'll post it so that you all can have it, and click the links and go to the page and get your tickets. Is there a fee for this event?
Yeah, it's $10 to register, just due to it's so many things that these children are going to get. They're going to eat. They're going to be able to get school supplies. You got a lot of stuff from Nike, so I have to keep count, because I want everybody to go away with something. So if a 30-year-old shows up, I got something for you. If a 12-year-old shows up, I have something for you. So I just need to keep account of what I have, and I want to have something for everybody. So it is a cost. It's not going in my pocket. It's not going to get weave and bundles and makeup, but it's going towards our community. It's going towards school supplies. That's what I need. This is my first event, being a 501c, and so this is going to be like a fundraising, so I need all the help I can get, basically. Because
so when you say all the help you can get, we got people listening. What do you need? Tell the Bougie Club what you want.
I don't need nothing, but my community needs school supplies, because it's not for me. That's why I don't put my face on anything, because I think I get more share because I ain't on it. So it's for the community. It's for these kids that's in school. It's for these young adults it's still grown people that can't afford school supplies. Let's be real. So come to my event, get school supplies, get pens, paper, backpacks, whatever you need. I'm gonna try and have it all there. So I need whatever the community can donate to me. Hit me up on polishplease.com. Let me know. I'll be more than grateful to meet you somewhere. Whatever I need to do in order to help my community, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have to have children to understand that these teens and these millennials are going through. I don't have to, and like I said, have a foster child or know a foster child to understand the need. So whatever you all can do to help with this event on August the 19th at 4 p.m. at Greater Community Temple. It's going to be in the Youth Cafe. Bishop Brandon B. Porter is the pastor there. Come on now. It's going to be from 4 p.m. again until 7 p.m. Registration is $10, and registration will probably close a week before the event, just because I do want something for everybody. So And even for future events, you can donate. I got a place on my website where you can just donate, so I can already have a budget to work with for future events, because it's not cheap. Starting out, I'm coming out of my pocket for a lot of these things, but it don't matter because I'm doing it for a greater cause. So,
okay, so you guys, this is one of the things that I wanted, and so I'm working out the technicalities of how to facilitate this, but I want to open the floor up to questions. Mm-hmm. So if you all have questions for Angela that you want to ask her about her organization, if you guys can put it in the comments. I'm going to try to scroll backwards so that I can address it. Someone asked about the location, and we just gave that, and we will post that on there. Yeah, I know I'm trying to get this Facebook Live together.
Well, while you're doing it, I just encourage all the parents in the morning time, give affirmation words to your child. Because in the morning, what we do, we get up, it's time to go to school, or get up, you've been sleeping. Well, first of all, they sleep because you probably had company that night, talking loud, kikiing loud. The child, baby, can't even sleep. So leave them alone, let them sleep for an extra 2 minutes. But when they get up, that's the first thing they hear, you yelling, and you wondering why your child is cutting up in school. Because in the morning, you have to start their morning off well. Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them you're going to have a good day. Remind them of things. Like when I was coming up and we had a test or something, my mama had our test questions in the front seat with her. Okay, tell me about this. She didn't know the answer. She didn't know, but she was going over stuff with us. You know, when you get in the car with the kids, now what we do, cutting on the radio, turning on, when they get up in the morning, we turning on the TV, distracting them, you know, with the reality shows. We got to start having conversations with these kids in the morning time, you know, reassuring them that you're going to have a good day, that you are beautiful. Tell me what you're trying to get out of your day. You know, let's go over these test questions, because this is what we're missing.
Awesome, Kaylin. I see, Miss Kaylin, you said that you write them on the mirror. That's excellent. As you all can see,
yeah.
My main affirmation for me is I'm enough, because that's one of the things that I struggle with, and it's on mirrors.
And a lot of kids don't hear that. They don't hear that. If they're not getting it from home, they're not hearing it. So from a parent standpoint, or whoever the guardian may be.
Oh, wow. So Mr. Cooley. Hey, Mr. Cooley.
Hey,
I love Mr. Cooley. Mr. Cooley, I need you on Epic every day so you can tell everybody about Excelsior. He has a nonprofit that is basically a travel organization that's geared toward providing affordable opportunities for people to take travel tours. So
okay.
Mr. Cooley, I need to get you on the show. But he says that his wife has prayer and reflection with their children
in the morning.
On the way to school, and I think that's excellent.
We need to cut off K97 and B101 and talk to these children in the morning. See where their mind is at.
Yeah, and set the day. I'll be doing some Bougie Blueprint webinars, and hopefully we'll be able to get out in the community and host some workshops on talking about just that, and setting your mind frame for the day, using affirmations and how to work on changing our mindset. So I know we all have held you, and I appreciate everybody that's viewing. Does anybody have any questions? Give me some feedback. Was this benefit for those of you all who are watching? Was this information beneficial? Do you want to see more interviews like this? Did it inspire you? Okay, Miss Kayla said she also rides in silence on the way to school. When we talk about being prepared, get it, Mama.
Good.
Get it, Mama.
That's what they need.
Keep sharing what you all are doing on this post,
absolutely,
so that other parents, if they're not already doing it, they can get ideas. You know what I'm saying? Love on your babies. Let's share these examples of things that we are doing to love on our babies. And Lord, I'm praying for people to have discernment, because as you all can see, we have some trolls and some negative people that are posting, so I'm going to rebuke them. Yeah. And I'm trying to keep up and block them and ban them as much as possible, because I believe in positive energy. And so I'm not going to be for everybody, but for those of you all who are willing to listen and we're on the same page and you guys are interested in what I'm trying to do, I want to keep us in a positive.
Rose said, or guys getting girls pregnant on purpose. They do that.
Getting, us keeping us in a positive place and giving us inspiration. I'm trying to inspire each other. I don't know if guys are getting girls pregnant on purpose. Like I said, I can speak from my experiences, and I can share experiences that I know that might be a conversation topic that comes up. I know sometimes it happens the other way around. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I told you I don't know everything. Jensen Williams says, I am enough. You absolutely are. You absolutely are enough. You're enough. You're enough. You're enough. Absolutely. You're enough. Yes.
You may have been overlooked, but you still here. If you got breath in your body, you still have a purpose.
You're good enough. You're smart enough. You're beautiful enough. You're capable enough. You're qualified enough. That's one of the things that I struggle with even being able to go with the live videos. Like I told you guys, I was in this business elite group about building your online presence. And the challenge for May was that we had to go live 20 times. As you all see, I missed the mark, but I really struggled on whether I was good enough to be going online. You guys know your girl like to eat. I live in Memphis. We eat good down here, but you talk about putting me on camera, and they say camera adds more weight. Those are all things that made me feel like I shouldn't be doing this. So when I tell you all I appreciate the love and the likes and the shares and the inboxes and the words of encouragement and the hearts and the thumbs up and all these emojis, you guys are giving me strength to press forward and try to help and just be bougie. You helping me be bougie. Like I told you all in my post about the I am statement. Some of my I am statements are work in processes, and I'm at that speaking and believing point where I got to tell it to myself so I can start walking in it and believing it, and we have to do that. Miss Bobby, I'm so glad that you watching these few little videos have given you a different perspective. I'm grateful for that. This the point of it all. That is the point of it all. Yes, ma'am, Miss Rose. I'm learning that that the negativity is gonna come. Somebody gave me some great advice in a post before about just ignoring it. So I'm working real hard on focusing on the positive and not letting the negative stuff be a distraction, because that's exactly what it is. But if you all, thank you, Miss Melanie, for being proud of us. We thank you for that. You guys, I'm trying to learn the live things, so don't think that I'm ignoring you all. I'm trying to learn. I'm not a millennial. Somebody gave us some information to tell us that millennials actually end at 34, and I believe she said they start at 18. So we'll keep that in mind. But we bougie over here, so sometimes we flex on the definitions a little bit. But I do think that we need to go back further than 18, because
mine was 15. The stuff that I was seeing in her, that's why I went.
So I don't know what they call them. I don't know what they call them under 18. If somebody knows, educate me. I don't know everything. But that's an age group that needs to hear information, because they have cell phones.
I was thinking 6th grade, and I know 12-year-olds, 11, 12. That's when you gotta start, because they start dating in, and That's what I was thinking about. So maybe I need to switch the word millennial and say, but I shouldn't say youth either, because a 34-year-old, no shade, but that's not really youth.
So you saying I'm real old then, because I don't know where
you just got a lot of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They look at
just wise.
They carded me at the
Just
casino because he thought I was in my 20s, so I'm yet holding on to that.
Well, hold on.
Okay, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. Please share the video if you found it informative or helpful. Please go out and support Polish.
Yes.
Buy your tickets. Get your tickets early. What was your target number of people in attendance?
150.
Okay, Miss Polish needs 150 people in attendance for this event.
Or buy a ticket for another millennial, because everybody may not have $10, so you can donate it, and then another millennial can come on your dime.
Yeah, so be bougie, be bold, be outspoken, be unapologetic, be goodwill, be inspiring, and above all, be epic every day. Thank you so much for joining us on our first Epic Everyday Live episode. Our next episode will be Wednesday at 6:30, where we'll be meeting with Miss Jamaica and the Memphis Explosion, so they can talk to you about their program and what they're doing with the youth in the community. This is your girl, J. Penelope. I love you all to death, and remember, be bougie.
I love it.